In this video, we're going to go over how to quickly fix a clicking and popping hip. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over easy exercises that are going to help quickly get rid of those annoying clicking and popping sounds in the hips. And what usually causes this is because of a blend of weakness and tightness in the muscles and their tendons that help support the hips. To make it easy, I'm going to break the video up into two separate parts. The first part is going to focus on releasing tightness. In the second part, we're going to focus on strengthening those muscles for long-lasting results. While both parts are different, they are meant to work together. So to get the best results, go through all the exercises, use what works best for you. With that being said, let's get started. In the first part, we're going to focus on a big cause of clicking and popping sounds in the hip, which is due to tightness in muscles and tendons around the hip. Think of these muscles and tendons being pulled tight like a rubber band, and every time you move, it's like strumming that rubber band, how it makes a noise. So let's get everything loosened up. This first exercise we can do in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. Whatever side that you're having issues, let's say it's your left hip, that side is going to be bent at the knee like this and have your foot flat. The other leg goes straight. From here, what I like to do is just gently press my heel into the floor until we feel a really good activation of the muscles around the hips. Once we feel that, we're going to hold this and then do what is called the windshield wiper. So you're going to take this bent knee and just slowly lower it downward towards the floor until you feel a really good stretch form on the inner part of the thigh that works towards the groin into the hip. Only go for a light stretch. Hold this one for about a second or two, and then you're going to go in the opposite direction, sweeping that knee inward like this. This time around, you're going to feel it a little bit more on the outer part of your hip. So just like a windshield wiper, go back and forth. What you're probably going to notice is that one of these movements, like going outward like this, can cause that popping or clicking sound. If that's the case, what we want to do is stop right before it's going to click or pop. So like, let's say when I'm sweeping out like this, if I was to go any further, it would pop. I hold that for a second or two, I relax, and then what I'm going to do is keep building into that movement over and over again, because with each repetition, you're going to notice that you have a little bit more range of motion, and that clicking sound will slowly start to disappear because it's loosening everything up. So keep doing this over and over again until it goes away or you're not getting any more improvement. And with all of these movements too, if you don't get any clicking or popping sounds, what I would focus on doing is try to do about 5 to 10 repetitions in both directions. It just really helps, again, loosen everything up. So the next movement that we're going to focus on is knee to the chest. So what I'm going to do is take my hands, I'm going to grab right in front of my knee like this or behind it. Doesn't matter, just use whatever position is easier for you. But just like the name implies, we're going to pull this knee towards our chest as much as we can. This time around, you should feel a really gentle stretch right here over the glutes, the buttocks, and also the top part of the thigh. Hold this one comfortably for a second or two, release it, and then keep repeating this. Again, if you notice any popping sounds, what you want to do is just focus on building into that over and over again until everything is nice and loose and you're not getting any more of those annoying sounds. So let's take this one to the next level and put both of these movements together by doing what are called hip circles. So again, just grab right in front of the knee or behind it, whatever's more comfortable. And what you're going to do is just use your knee right here and kind of pull it and do a big wide circle. So with this one, as you do it, you're going to notice a really good circular motion form in the hip. You're going to go out like this, you're going to come up, you're going to go inward, and then also away. Try to do this about 5 to 10 times in one direction and then switch it up in the opposite direction and then repeat. What you're trying to focus on doing is finding that one certain movement. Like let's say when I go out and then up like this, I get that popping sensation. That's the spot of tightness that we want to focus on. So keep building into that movement over and over again until everything is nice and loose or you're not getting any more improvement. Just a great exercise to find the right movement for you that's going to offer the most relief. This exercise is what I call the Elvis. It's pretty unique, and the great part is you can do it standing. So let's break it down. Whatever side that you're having the most amount of hip clicking or popping sounds, let's say it's your left side, what you want to do is keep that leg straight, and then you're going to bend the other side's knee and lunge your body weight away. So it looks just like this. I'm going to bend my right knee like this, lunge my body weight away, keeping this leg straight. The more that you lunge away, the more that you're going to feel a really gentle stretch form right here on the inner part of your thigh that works towards the groin into the hip. Only go towards a light, comfortable stretch. Hold that for a couple seconds and then release. If you do notice that you get a clicking or popping sound while doing this, what you want to do is build right up to the point where it's going to pop, but stop. Hold that for a second or two, release it, and then keep repeating this over and over again, because with each repetition, it's going to help loosen it up a little bit more to the point where you're not going to get that popping or clicking sound. But try to do this about 5 to 10 times or until that sound finally goes away. But this is how we're really going to take it to the next level and do the Elvis. So what I'm going to do this time around is put my hands right on my hips. Let's get back into our lunge, go over as far as we can. And then just like Elvis, we're just going to move those hips and pelvis. So I like to do a light circular motion like this in one direction. I do this about 5 times and then switch it up in the opposite direction and then repeat. What you want to focus on doing is finding that one movement. Like let's say when I go forward and then towards my left like this, I start to get that popping sound. That means that we found the area of tightness, and we just kind of want to build right up to the point, not into the point where it's going to pop. Hold that, release it, and then keep doing that over and over again until you're not getting that sound anymore or until everything is nice and loose. Just another really easy way to identify the right movement that's going to offer the most relief. In the second part, we're going to turn our attention towards another main cause of clicking and popping sounds in the hip, which is due to weakness in the muscles and tendons that help support them. This first exercise is called the 3D dead bug, and you can do it in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. Have your legs roughly about hip width apart. You're going to bend your knees at 90 degrees like this. Take your hands, put them off to your side for support. The first movement is the basic dead bug, which will help strengthen the core muscles that help support the hips. What you're going to do is slowly straighten one knee like this, lowering your leg and foot downward towards the floor. The key is though, don't let your leg touch the bed or the floor. Just let it hover about an inch or two above. In this position, you're going to feel a ton of muscles start to fire across the hips, across the pelvis right here, into the core muscles. Hold this one comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds, relax, and then repeat it on the other side. I like to do this about 5 times on both sides. And if you do notice that you get a clicking or popping sound while doing this, like let's say on my left side right here, what you want to do is just stop right before that point, hold it, and then release it, and keep repeating this over and over again until everything is nice and loose or you're not getting that popping sound. So to take this one to the next level, let's throw some more movements in that are going to target the hips even more. So this time around, I'm going to lower one leg down like this, but I'm going to turn my foot inward as much as I can until I feel a really good activation of the muscles around the hips. From there, we're going to sweep our leg inward. As you do this, do it slowly because those muscles are really going to fire. Again, hold this one comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds, and if you do notice any popping sounds with these movements, stop before the popping sound and then hold it right there. So let's release that one and now straighten our leg out once again, but this time around we're going to turn our foot outward as much as we can and then swing our leg out. This one can be really challenging. I really feel it on the inner part of my thigh towards the inner part of my hip, so give that one a try. But I like to do all of these movements on both sides for about 5 complete times. And if you do notice that one movement though just feels really weak, or it's causing that clicking or popping sound, like let's say when I sweep in like this, at that point treat that like your weak link and keep building into that over and over again until the popping sound is gone, or it feels like you got a really good workout. This next strengthening exercise we can do standing. I call this hip clocks. For this one, we just need a sturdy chair, one without wheels. So let's break it down. What you're going to do is start with very good upright posture. Whatever side that you're having the most amount of clicking or popping sounds, let's say it's our right hip, that side is going to be away from the chair. So I'm going to grab onto the chair with the hand closest to the chair, and we're going to place all of our body weight onto this other side, and just keep your leg nice and straight at the knee. The side that is having the clicking and popping sounds, we're going to keep that knee straight also, lift our leg up slightly, and then we're going to point our toes downward towards the floor until we feel a really good activation of pretty much all the muscles in the leg upward towards the hip. So once we feel that, we're now going to treat this position that's straight ahead like noon, like a clock, and we're just going to slowly lift our leg upward as much as we can until we feel a really good activation of the muscles in the thigh towards the hip. But don't go to the point of discomfort, and if you do notice that you get a popping or clicking sensation with this position, stop before the point that you get that popping sound. Hold this for about 3 to 5 seconds, relax, and then repeat this a couple more times. What you're going to notice is with each repetition that popping sound will slowly start to go away because everything is getting loosened up. So keep building into that as much as you can until you feel that popping sound go away. But with this one, if you feel like it's pretty good, you're not getting any popping sensation, what you're going to do at that point is just move over a little bit. So go a little bit more towards 12:30 and then repeat. You're going to notice it hits the muscles just a little bit differently. So keep building into different positions. Go all the way towards 3 o'clock, move backward towards 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, if you're able to, even 7 o'clock. You're trying to find that one position that causes the popping sounds or it just feels really weak. Once you find that, treat it like your weak link and keep building into that over and over again until the popping sound goes away or until it feels like you got a really good workout. And I do recommend doing this on both sides to help keep everything in balance. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.